What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Hometown Opens. Today, we're doing another Kamigawa Neon Dynasty collector booster box. This one is not ours. This is for my friend Steven. He was nice enough to allow us to open this up for him and agreed to deliver the cards back to him in the best shape that we can.
I actually was going to make a joke and be like, guys, we got the actual value back so quickly that we just got another box.
No, we did not.
No, 100%.
As much as we are happy about ours, this is for our good friend Steven, and I hope that we get to pull good things for him. So, Mikey, we just opened our collector box of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and I thought it was pretty good, so let's see if we can
do it again.
Do the same for our friend Steven here. I really like
Sleeves at the
ring. Showcase frames in this set. The more I see them, the more I like them. Even if they're not all completely playable, they all do still look pretty cool.
I'm just gonna get that out of the shot because that looks gross.
Here we go. First pack. We've got a couple.
Look at that crab.
Well, commons and uncommons.
You ever had crabs?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
Did you like how I slow rolled that there? I was like, I have not.
Oh no! Look at that planes. That's a beautiful
Beautiful
planes.
planes. This is probably my favorite. I don't know. I go back and
I was
forth
gonna say
on the
you
planes.
have a problem with the other ones. Samurai.
Moon
Ninja.
Circuit Hacker.
Oh, I love that art so much.
Thief. And our first rare is a March of Soaring Mist that is very miscut.
That's okay.
Do you see that? Do you see the...
I do.
Our commander card is a Universal Surveillance. I kind of like this card. It's kind of interesting.
Well, improvise.
We have a Restoration of a Gonjo, and this is the pretty extended art one there. Except we got Lizard Blades. Look at him.
Look at those
Look at
good
him riding that
boys.
sword.
I love that.
And then we have a foil Shigeki.
Shigeki.
Shukai Visionary. And then our token, a Spirit and a Spirit.
Nice.
Well, pretty good first pack. I think a Gonjo is going to be probably one of the more expensive sagas out of this set, just for how good it is. But like I said, I really love the March cycle.
Love the backside of it too.
It's really interesting, and I think Shigeki will get some love in Commander as well.
Lizard Blades going in anything that has to deal with combate. Ooh,
Here we are. We have
Shintai.
my favorite of the two
Mountains.
mountains. The Snowy City.
Oh, it's so cool. I love those arts.
Imperial Subduer. Inkrise Infiltrator. Is it another Inkrise Infiltrator? It is
Oh,
not.
it's not like our box.
And we have a Makutai Soul Ripper.
Oh,
Interesting
cool
little vehicle there.
Yeah.
Our commander rare is Silk Guard. This card I think is really interesting. It's kind of like a Heroic Intervention, or it's kind of like a Snakeskin Veil, but you can choose how many targets you want. I think that's really interesting. He's got an extended art Tatsunari Toad Rider. That beautiful there.
Oh.
We've got a Satsuki, the Living Lore. That is the soft gold frame. That one's really interesting. And what do we got? We got a foil Invoke Justice. Wow. I really like the art on that one. I think it's really interesting.
Yes, very nice.
Invoke Justice does seem interesting. Allows you to return permanent back to the battlefield, which I think is really good. And if you're playing vehicles or something like that where you can put counters on creatures, pretty good. Michiko is probably one of my favorite enchantments in the new set. Really good for decks that care about artifacts and for enchantments.
Yes.
Got a pretty island there. Imperial Subduer. Coiling Stalker. That one does look a lot better in the showcase than it does in the regular art. And our first rare is Thousand Faced Shadow.
Good one.
Hitting it off hard with the ninjas.
Ninja.
Next up, we have Iron Soul Enforcer. Ooh, pretty. Economy of Transience there. I really like the art on this card. I'm going to be trying that one out in Sithis. I spoiled it. We have a pretty framed Farewell. Love the art in this card.
Looks good.
And then our final is a foil borderless Otawara Soaring City. So the joke about people making about Otawara is that it has a ship on the art very similar to Castle.
No.
Oh no, I would forget the name of it off the top of my head. The Black Castle, Lochthwain, which is also a floating ship. So everyone was just like, we gotta play ship tribal for lands.
Yes.
Ooh, pretty forest.
Pretty. If you couldn't tell, watcher, viewer, whatever, we like the lands.
We do like the lands. Our
They're
foil rare,
nice.
which I saw, is Kaito Shizuki. in the regular frame there.
Love that card.
Except we have a Myojin of Towering Might.
See if he wants to trade for that.
Again, I hope that this is useful somewhere. I just don't see it. Ooh, Satoru Umezawa, the extended art there.
Umezawa.
Invoke Despair. Of course, we have an art for this that is our bundle promo, but this one is the fancy neon ink frame. And then Ayo the Dawn Sky.
Ayo!
Ayo.
I like that card. I will probably be putting it into my vehicles list. Just to... Maybe. I don't know yet.
Interesting. I do really like the Dragon Cycle. I think they're all pretty good for different strategies. All right, we're going to skip right to that beautiful swamp.
Love it.
Sorry, Captain. I really do like it.
I thought you said sorry, Captain. I was like,
I do
what
really
are you
like
saying?
all of these frames. I do think
Yeah.
they're all really pretty, and kind of makes me sad that some of these cards will never see Commander play, because I would love to see them in
but
the
there's a
table.
strategy for each of them somewhere.
Spring Leaf Avenger.
Nice little ninja.
We've got our Commander card, Shorekai Genesis Engine.
Look at that. Nice
Pretty.
extended.
Pretty mythic there. We got Mech Titan Core, so we got a Mech Titan Core. He gets a Mech Titan Core. It's a fun one. Got a Mind Link Mech in the pretty soft glow frame.
Oh, I like that card too. Good card.
And our last card is a
Ooh.
Tekenuma Abandoned Mire Extended Art Foil.
We are
That's
getting
definitely
all
pretty.
of the lands.
To say I've definitely been in back and forth between which versions of those lands I like better, the extended or the
Alternate.
borderless.
Borderless, that's what they call it. So many different names for the different kinds
They are
of
pretty
cards.
planes.
The pretty card. How about we just call it that?
We call them the pretty cards.
Hey, Master...
Master Splinter.
I almost said Master Shifu, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't Kung Fu
We got
Panda.
Iganjo, Seat of the Empire. There's our white land.
Nice.
Aerial Surveyor. This card was kind of interesting. We got to play around with this a little bit in our little test games with vehicles. Yeah. And we got Kyrie, the Swirling Sky. There's our Blue Dragon, one of my favorites of the cycle. And there we go. So in the same pack, we get the borderless Iganjo and the foil one.
Nice.
And our last card is a foil Mech Titan Core. Interesting little card there. I don't know how I feel about Mech Titan Core. It seems really cool. I have all the want in the world to slam a Mech Titan onto the battlefield.
It should be kind of easy if you're throwing a bunch of Thopters out or mirrors or something like that. Something kind of simple. Sorry, it's going to take me just a second to get this open because I suck at opening these Pop-Tart packs.
Pop-Tarts?
Pop-Tarts!
We, Sometimes Commander, would like to thank our new sponsor, Pop-Tarts. No,
100% not sponsored. But it keeps me going.
Please, Pop-Tarts, sponsor us.
100%, I'll take it every day of my
We
week.
will 100% take all of the Pop-Tarts.
What am I doing? Opening cards. That's what
We are opening the cards.
planar incision.
We'll
Where?
put them all-
Okay, I
all
was
right
like,
there,
where
yeah.
did the pile
Ooh,
go?
first land that we've seen in
Oh,
foil.
I love the Dismal. The Dismal.
Jukai Naturalist.
Oh, you're excited
Pretty
about
card.
that.
Yeah, put a great card.
Oh, I like that art. That's so sick. Even the backside looks really cool too. Nice
Another
little-
pretty
looks like ink
planes.
art. Jukai Trainee, 7-Tail Mentor, got Dakuchi, Shadow Walker, Ink Rise,
It's only good because
Infiltrator,
it's
and
wrong.
Kodama of the West Tree. Wait,
What a
did I
pretty
really
card.
say that wrong? Dakuchi? Oh. What did I just say?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Cancellation immediately. Hey, look at Thundering Reiju.
Reiju.
Nice little, whatever you want to call that. Because there's too many.
Thousand Face Shadow.
Ooh,
In
another.
the ninja frame. And oh, what a fun
Brilliant
card.
Restoration,
This is a card
yes.
that I'm excited to try at some point. Brilliant Restoration. Turn all artifact and enchantments. Bring graveyard back to the battlefield.
Gross.
Oh, all of them. Not even just yours. Oh, your graveyard. Okay.
All of them. Look at me.
What a fun card. The art on that card is just great.
Yeah,
On the normal
little
one and
Kyodai.
the alternate. It's just so pretty.
It has Kyodai on it. I don't think it has the Wanderer. No. At least I'm blind. At least if it does, I'm blind. We're okay with that, right? Right.
We are, in fact, okay with it.
is up with this
Generous Visitor getting a lot of play in standard at the moment.
What is up with his face? Ooh, I like the Okiba on the backside. It gives all your
Pretty
vehicles.
swamp.
Menace. Minache is always fun. Iganjo Exemplar, Peerless Samurai, Covert Technician, Inazumi Prowler.
Hey, Teachings of the Kirin.
Teachings of the Kirin. Research Thief is our commander. Ooh. Little Junji action.
Junji.
Little Invoke Calamity action.
Had some fun with that card tonight in our
Yeah,
games.
you unfortunately did. Risona, I like that art. That is just straight up anime right there, and I love it. 100% all the anime.
Enemies.
I say as I'm wearing too much anime right now.
Spoilers.
No, spoilers, yes, because they can see everything that I'm wearing right now.
I do really like Junji's art. There are lots of combos that have been determined already with Junji in ways that you can do some pretty gross things. So I'm excited to see.
Steven, if I rip this pack in half, embrace, all right?
Take it off our check.
100%. He literally pays us.
Take it out of our pay for this video.
Yeah. All right.
It's at this point that we admit that Steven's actually been our Warlock benefactor this entire time.
A Warlock benefactor, yes.
No.
Here's the ancient thing. Reality highest. I said it last time. I'll say it again.
It's a D&D reference for our friends out there who play D&D.
Ooh, the kimono.
Oh, such a pretty mountain.
Pretty mountain. Like that art. Sell for Samurai. Good card. Coiling Stalker. Mukaitai. Oh, look, Risona. Just
another one.
Not the cool Risona. No, I'm just kidding. They're all really cool.
The Nexus denied.
Oh, look,
Another
a Risona. Just not a
We're
cool
doing really
Risona.
well on the Risonas tonight.
Restoration of a Ganjo.
That
Very
should
nice.
be the... that is the soft glow frame.
Yep. And then you have March of Swirling Mist.
That one is a very pretty card. I actually personally ordered all of the frames for the marches. I have to say I really like that cycle.
You just straight up already know that you're gonna use them in decks.
Yeah, Swirling Mist is going to go into a couple. I think phasing creatures out is really important.
Yeah.
The white one being able to hit enchantments, artifacts, and that for little mana is really good. The red one is kind of like a mini light up the stage or Jessica's Will without getting the mana. That can be really good.
Yeah.
The black one just deals damage and you gain life, which is huge. That's going to go in the X spell deck. And then the green one, unfortunately, doesn't, not as commander playable, but I do really enjoy the art on it. So I figure why not get all 5 of them and then just have them.
Oh, look at it.
Still love that card.
Super dark for some weird reason. Interesting.
Because it's dark and rainy.
Easy now. Resuming Blade Master, Sunblade Samurai, Ninja Turtle. Which one?
Which one is my favorite? It's a really tough question. I'm going to take the next 30 minutes and explain to you why. No, I'm just kidding.
Dear God, I'm excited for this.
I was always a Donatello guy.
Oh, nice. I was too.
As a nerd, I feel like I have to be a Donatello guy.
I was too, except for I know that we see the Lizard Blazes there, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about which is our favorite Ninja Turtle. I'm a Michelangelo guy, probably because we have the same name, but that's beside the point.
That's fair.
The same reason why I eat Mike and Ike's and why I only shop at Michael's.
Oh, well, I mean, what a constricting...
Ishin!
Ishin.
What did you say this was earlier today?
What did I say it was?
Anime boss JPEG?
Average anime boss .jpeg. It's just, I don't know. To me, he really looks like just like if you watched a random anime and you saw the villain, like that's Ishin to me.
100%. And has like the
Tell me if I'm wrong, but like I just...
Tell me I'm wrong, and just has like the deepest voice, like, oh no, my dawn. It's like, oh, chill, bro. Nice little, what is that one, the Reckoner?
Yes, Reckoner Bankbuster.
Good card.
I think Ishin's a really fun commander. I referred to him as a, quote, new Mardu Wonder Boy in a text chain a few days ago, because I feel like every couple sets we get a new Mardu Wonder Boy commander that everyone wants to build, and then no one ever actually keeps it together.
I think you might have mentioned it in one of our episodes on the podcast as well.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
You'll have to go find out. You'll come back and tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah, tell me why you're wrong on the Discord.
I really like Roaring Earth.
I
It's
just
one of
love
those
the
uncommons
art,
I really
dude.
hope works well in commander.
Earth. Look at that Earth. Look at that art.
Hold the unspeakable.
The unspeakable. All the pretty island.
Is land.
Is land. More like Aslan. Best lion ever.
That was a stretch, but it worked. You got there. You got it there.
Shut up. Deguchi.
Weaver of Harmony.
Weaver of Harmony. Good little fun stuff. We got a Ruthless Technomancer.
Card I'm really intrigued in for Commander. I think it looks really interesting.
Excuse me, this one very stupid. Satsuki.
So he got he's so far got both the extended and the alternate art Satsuki. I saw it. We got Tezzeret, Betrayer of Flesh,
Oh my gosh.
and the pretty soft glow frame.
Golly, dude, look at that card. Forget you, Kiki Jiki.
And
Get out of here.
foil.
The Mirror Breaker himself.
Foiled Kiki Jiki. Really interesting card. I kind of like the idea of being able to have basically 2 Kiki Jikis in a deck.
Yeah.
Tezzeret, I have to say I was a lot less big on when I first saw the card than after using it in a vehicle deck that we've been rocking on.
Couple of vehicle decks, man. We are rocking those vehicles.
Tezzeret really definitely does a good job in that list. Crew is an artifact ability, so if you cannot use any artifact abilities, and that's the first one, the crew will actually cost 2 less, which I think is pretty cool.
But you don't use mana for the crew is the only problem.
There's a colon.
Oh. Interesting, I guess.
I could be wrong. I bet you I am wrong.
I don't know. We'll figure it out here in just a
Please
second.
flame me in the chat.
Well, we can look at one of these vehicles we just grabbed. I mean, that's easy, right? Nope, just says crew 2.
So probably going to get flamed in the chat.
Oh, you're screwed, dude.
Thank you for flaming me in the chat.
Millsy has been canceled. He is off the podcast, off the show. It's been fun, man.
Have you ever been wrong and then people have proven you being wrong?
Yes. You even admitted that you're wrong and you're just like, I guess, man.
It's like, guys, I see how this is going to look bad.
Love that
Hear me out.
card.
They're just like, nope, canceled. And you're just like, well.
Immediately. Prosperous Thief. Awesome.
Gonzo
Gonzo Uprising. We're super excited for that. And
another
Winota Miojin.
Yes, I'm very excited for Gonzo Uprising.
I like this one, the Soul Transfer. I wish I knew what this person
Was happening?
thing is happening. Like he's a demon, right?
Yeah, you wish you
With
had
a
any.
mechanical
Yeah,
arm.
you wish you had any idea. There we go. There's the pretty art.
Oh my
brilliant
gosh, look at that.
restoration.
Look at that. Kyoto just looks like a freaking fantastic character.
And our last foil is a.
What do you mean? I have
Kami
3 cards back here.
of transients. No, you don't. I'm just kidding. What a pretty.
Is Samurai in like every single stinking pack?
It is.
That's stupid.
It is.
Other than the spirits.
confirmed.
Other than the spirit. Because you get like
Yep.
Like
it
this.
actually is on everyone.
like this one. Spirit, spurt.
It is on every token.
Oh,
I do love this treasure art.
I do too.
I do think it looks pretty cool.
We're just dumb boys that just use like a spin down for our treasure.
Yeah, I mean, because, when you're making enough treasures, it's just easier that way.
Exactly. Because I want to put out 15 treasure tokens.
Well, Steven, I hope that you enjoyed watching your box be opened by us blithering fools.
Oh,
We've
are
got
we ever?
2 probably of the more popular of the dragons.
Yeah, man. They're jamming. We got a semi-dragon next to them.
We've got the Lizard Blades. I have to say, after this is our second box that we've opened, I have to say the commander cards, some of them are really interesting and some of them just kind of seem meh.
Make me go, why?
This card I'm really interested in. There's the battlefield. You may sack another creature. If you do, create a number of treasure tokens equal to that creature's power. And then you can sack X artifacts, return trigger creature card, power X, or last from your graveyard back to the battlefield. X can't be 0. So I think that one's going to be really good for those Chatterfang, Corval, aristocrats type lists. I think this one's going to be really good. Start trading you mana. Now, I hope that someone finds a good thing to do with the Miojins. I just have yet to figure out how to use them.
You gonna play Farewell and exile everything?
This is gorgeous. I love that art.
Oh, no, I didn't say about the art.
Yeah, I want to exile literally everything.
Literally everything. Quite literally everything.
Sets the card down, exiles everything.
Shows the card and just says, I win. Get out of here. Invoke Calamity. Such a cool card. Favorite land besides Seiju? Because obviously that's your favorite.
Odawara, definitely.
Okay.
I think the ability to bounce is really huge.
I like the black one.
Because in a lot of decks, it's going to get a lot cheaper to bounce. And I think being able to bounce at instant speed without casting a spell is huge.
Yeah.
Technoma is really good in any graveyard deck. I think it's really, really good.
So for those who don't know, Channel, can you just describe it?
Yeah, so Channel is an ability where you can, by discarding this card and paying a certain amount of mana, you can activate its ability from your hand at instant speed by discarding it instead of...
Making it a land.
Yeah, so as soon as you play it down as a land, it no longer has that channel ability. It only has it in your hand. Now, all of these channel abilities cost 1 less for each legendary creature you control, which is going to just make them cheaper and easier to play. But I think every land in this set, besides Iganjo, I think has a really fun ability. I think they're going to be really useful. I know Iganjo will see its time and it'll get used somewhere. It's just not really... I think it's better than a Plains in any white deck.
Yeah,
I mean, if you are playing a mono white deck, it probably takes the spot of one of your Plains for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think it definitely does a good job giving you some value. If you're in a deck that cares about legendary cards or legendary permanents, I think this is great as a, instead of a plains. I just worry that it is definitely not going to hold the price that the other 3 or 4 will. I think for me, as far as best is Boseiju, then Odawara, then Takenuma, then
we just pulled it somewhere over there.
The red one, and then Eganjo. Now that's Commander. I mean, I'm sure in Standard they're all actually probably pretty good. But of course, we are a Commander channel, so of course we view the lens of a lot of things through Commander.
Yep.
And some of the cards like this right here, not even legal in Standard or other formats. Anyway, what I find really interesting, and I'll bring it up here just because I just realized it the other day, the Kappa Cannoneer from this set is going for a lot of money right now because it's being played in Legacy. Remember that every new Commander card that comes out is playable in Legacy and Vintage.
Oh, wow.
So its effect is really good because, in Legacy and Vintage, you're playing a lot of cheap artifacts that come down quickly. So it's actually holding some decent value because of its ability to be played in Legacy and Vintage.
Around, sells it.
And I think that's really interesting that, like, a Commander card that maybe not is astronomically good, but it's decent, turns out to be, like, unrealistically good.
Yes, and a different format. I think that's what makes Magic really interesting is the different formats that you can play using the different cards. Like, if you love Pauper, you're going to love any common and uncommon that just does something more than just one thing.
Pauper is such an interesting format. I'd love to learn to play more. It seems really fun. It's a little grindy, but it seems pretty fun. But I love that every new set that comes out has something that goes into every format.
Right.
You have some stuff that Standard players care about. These lands are probably going to be something that Modern players care about. Modern and back probably care about these lands. Of course, in Commander, we're looking for all the big rares and mythics that we can either build around or fit into the lists that we have already.
Right.
I think my favorite change for collector boosters has been including these extended art Commander cards. I think this is really cool because it kind of introduces people to Commander, and it allows us to get prettier arts for those cards. I mean, can you imagine if you could get a extended art Dockside out of a collector booster, and just what a value for that would go for it.
Oh, it's already an $80 card. I don't need to imagine those.
But like, it'd be cool to see some of those old Commander cards. I do like the extended frame. I think it makes you see the art a little bit better. And I think I really like that. It allows them to kind of show off more of the art. But
we went off on a tangent for a second. I do kind of want to hit back onto the channel thing real quick. For the listener that doesn't know, and Mills, you can add into this at any time. If you're wondering, okay, why would I want to get rid of a land? It's land. I need mana to cast spells. It's kind of like a cycle as well. Like, you are looking at your board state, you're looking at your hand, and you're expecting from your deck a certain amount of things. If you already know that your mana base is decent or good enough to make you, or to push you further into the game and keep you at an advantageous state, then yeah, you'll drop this as a spell, or like in a cycling situation, you'll discard it, pay the mana that you need to, if any, and then draw a card and do whatever it says to do. Which I think in any kind of scenario, like Millsy said, in a mono white deck, Iganjo goes into for any of your planes, just because it's just good.
It's just strictly, no, it's not searchable.
True.
But so I think the same reason that these are good is the same reason that Lizard's Blades would be good, right? It's a creature and it's an equipment. So it's a creature card that you can play and use as a creature, or you can attach it to something and use it as an equipment, right? Yep. Anytime you can get more than one use or type of effect off of one card, it's always going to be better, especially in a format like Commander where we have 99 cards in our deck.
Yep.
If we can have one card fulfill multiple roles in our deck, it's always better then, right? Because then we have... The reason that I think Odawara and Boseiju are so good is because they're lands in colors that tend to have way too many lands already.
Yeah.
So the thing that's going to be good about them is when they're in their hand, you can hold them up for a little bit, see if maybe you can use them and play your other lands first. And if you need them, they can't get countered unless you use a stifle or a disallow, those counters that only deal with triggered abilities and activated abilities and not spells. And you can do this, let's say your opponent says that you can't cast spells in their turn. You can still use this because it's not a spell, it's an effect.
Right.
So some stuff like this is really, really huge.
The fact you can do it instant speed, it doesn't have to be on your turn. It's not a spell. Like, the value from them are really, really good. It took me a couple of days to kind of get behind these
And
cards.
I think overall, I think it's worth playing this over a basic island. In my opinion, same thing with Besage, over a basic land of your type.
Yeah.
And the reason is because at minimum, you have a land that comes in untapped, which just means, hey, on turn one, if this is the best land that you have, cool, you got a blue mana.
Yeah.
But if you draw this late game, right, if you draw this 10 or 15, 20 cards in and you have plenty of land already and you really don't need another land, well, now it's kind of like another spell in your hand. Now you have the ability to use it instead of just slapping it down. I think these get even better in landfall decks because let's say you have a way to bounce a land back to your hand.
Yeah.
Now you can bounce this back to your hand and use it later for its effect, right? So I think there's just so many things you can do with them to the point that I can see some of these being staples. Like this black one will be staple in mill strat in black graveyard decks. This will be probably a staple.
Yeah.
Just like a Keswick Wolf Run used to be a staple in green decks, and you have so many of these different lands that just become so good. We have so many lands like Hall of Heliod's Generosity that deal with bringing enchantments back. Of course, that's almost a staple in every enchantment deck because it allows you to recycle your enchantments. So we just have all of these lands that do so many good things other than tapping for mana.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the what would you call those lands from AFR?
Most people have called them creature lands.
Creature lands, yeah. I liked all of those. I mean, of course, there are like the exceptions of, again, the white one seems to just not get as much love as the others. It's still playable, I think.
I think the white one in a mono white deck is actually very good. The problem about it is, and I think the biggest problem with any new land cycle that we have to evaluate as lands are what else is available in that format that you can play.
Right.
So standard, these tend to be all-stars because standard normally doesn't have a ton of great lands.
Right.
Now we're at a bad exception right now because I think we have one of the best land cycles in the last year or two in the new Innistrad lands.
Yeah.
Those are in the format, and those are great if you're playing 2 or 3 colors, which a lot of standard decks are. But these, I think we have to look through the lens. Okay, are they better than other lands in standard? Some of them are, some of them aren't. Well, then we go back to Commander, which we have so many lands available for us to use, including dual lands, colorless lands that we can play in any deck, and so many other land cycles. So the question becomes, is this better than any other mono blue land that I can play? Is this better than any mono white land I can play? Is this better than any dual land that I can put in? Is this better than putting in a random other dual land or whatever?
Right.
And that's the kind of sliding scale that we have to put all these lands up against as we're seeing them come out. Now, there are times, of course, like in Kaldheim, we got the dual lands that are snow that come in tapped. And those are actually really good because they were searchable.
Right.
And that was a lot better than some of the other tap lands that gain you life that you could play because you could go search that off of certain spells and stuff like that. So we kind of have to we have to look at it at every format differently. We have to look at them and see, okay, does this card actually work here? Is it better than other things I could play? Is this better than some of your other popular mono blue lands like a Mystic Sanctuary or something like that, those mono blue utility lands? Is it better? I think so. I think it's really big. No, Takenuma is not better than a Bajuka Bog or something like that. But I think it is very good in a certain strategy. It's not the best black lane we've ever seen, but I think it's certainly up there.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas my problem here is I just see so many other white lands being better usable. But then Mikey, the question comes down to, are we playing a monocolored deck or are we playing a deck with more than one color? Because if I'm playing 2 colors or above in white, I don't think this even gets considered. But I think if I'm playing a mono white deck, I'm definitely considering it. It's definitely something that wouldn't be bad to have for hopefully 1 white mana. That's just huge. Now that's most of the time that's what those spell actually runs for is a white mana or 2 mana.
That's what was really strange about it being 3 mana, but that's a conversation for a different time. Definitely give all of these lands a try. Definitely give the dragons a try.
I think the dragons are really fun. I don't think any of them are good enough to be their own commander except this one because of some of the combos that have been created with them. But I think all 5 of them, and I'll lump in Quixote as the 6th one because it kind of is in that same cycle. All 6 of them are interesting. I think the mono-color dragons will do really well in previous existing dragon strategies.
Yeah.
I think they'll all do really well and they'll help you out.
I think even Quixote can be put into any dragon deck if you're really, really worried about your commander or anything like that, and you can give them indestructible.
See, the only bad thing about Kyoto is it has to go in a 5-color deck.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're playing dragons, like 9 times out of 10, you're playing 5-color.
Yeah, but I mean, the question is Kyoto better than any of these 5, or you know what I mean? So the question mark just becomes, dragon decks. The problem they tend to have, as you get into 3 colors or above, is just how many dragons you have access to. We keep getting new ones and new ones. I think that's why I feel like for example in red, you're playing Goldspan in any dragon deck you have. You're playing probably Terror of the Peaks or some of these new dragons, in any dragon deck you play, whereas not necessarily always every dragon, is always like that. So I think dragons are just an interesting tribe because they are traditionally so good in Magic. They always have good effects, and they're flying, and they're just so menacing like dragons are
They
in
have
lore.
huge power and toughness half the time.
But I think the bar for what makes a good dragon has definitely gone up from Shivan Dragon, of course, to the past. I mean, you put this card up against Shivan Dragon, and it's not even a competition with how much new dragon cards. So that's been one of my kind of wants to build a dragon deck, is because I feel like we just keep getting new good dragons, and we're just going to continue to get new cards to put in there.
I think the problem that we're running into is the amount of commanders for the dragon deck, or the amount of commanders for a lot of 5-color decks. Like, do you play Kinrith good stuff? Do you play the Dragon? That's the only dragon commander that you can play that's 5-color.
A lot of people did play Golos because he was such a good commander for 5-color, right?
Yeah,
now he's gone. We have Kenrith, we have Essica now.
Yes.
We have Sisay, if that's the route you want to go. And for dragons specifically, we have both the Dragon and Tiamat, who both have popularity as far as being dragon commanders.
Yeah.
So I think the dragon tribe is really interesting because I think there's so many different ways to build dragons, and that's what I love about them. Although dragons are primarily red,
you don't have to go red.
You can see Grixis or Esper or some of these 3-color combinations that do not center in red play these dragons. I mean, heck, I'd even say that some of the blue and black dragons we've seen over the last few years have been really good too.
Yeah.
The card that I'm interested to see if it ever sees more play in Commander is a Murktide Regent that came out on Modern Horizons 2. It's a spell slinging type. It's a dragon that cares about casting spells, and you kind of, just like Treasure Cruise of the past, you delve out of your graveyard to help cast it and things like that. It's gotten a lot of love in Modern and formats like that. I'm interested to see if it makes its way into Commander.
I do wish there were more options for different commander dragons or dragon commanders, just for that reason. I feel like everybody kind of goes with their set, insert good dragon here, let's move on, we don't need to worry about it. But it's okay if that's how you want to play it.
I'd really love to see fresh 3-color dragons, new 3-color dragons that we can really use to good effect. I think would be really interesting.
That would be really nice. In wedges or in shards?
Both. I think a new legendary in each of the 10 colors that. Well, I'm not going to expect 10 dragon commanders, one in each color. I would much rather have them in the. I would probably much rather have them in the Tarkir wedges than in the shards, personally. But I think either would be fine because they would spawn some great decks.
What if the big legendaries of
Capenna or dragons?
No, God, they're demons now.
Or angels.
Commander Legends 2.
Oh, I hope so.
Dragons. Because we're going back to dungeons and dragons.
Dragons, yeah.
So
I mean, we got a cycle of dragons in AFR, which was really cool. Yeah. Not all of them are great, but all of them are fun.
Some of them hold their value.
One of them is, I think, strictly better than the rest of them.
We won't talk about it.
Welcome to the Church of Old Nabo, and why
and why we're just better than you. But guys, we've had a lot of fun opening.
Steven, thank you again for allowing us to open your box for you. He asked us very quickly on if this was something we wanted to do, and I immediately said yes.
Yeah.
We get to, and we're going to deliver this very quickly back to him, so that way he doesn't go any too long period of time, so he can do whatever he wants to do with his cards. But
right on.
Very fun to open. He originally had offered us a set booster box to do as well, but unfortunately with the week we've had, we just didn't have the time to open it. So maybe in the future we'll see a set box for Kamigawa be opened up. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you guys next time. Later. I missed it both times.